Now, the truth about the AIDS test, when that came about with Janet, now Janet, at first, if you see in the movie started, uh, she kissed Q-Tip, because Q-Tip, was her boyfriend in the movie theater. So when that scene happened, he got his head, he got shot, and sent her into her whole little, her downward, inward self to write poetry, and her spiral downward because she saw that he was in the car. But in real life, I guess he had a cold and she got sick. So that was the beginning of the movie, and I don't think she could work for like 2 or 3 days. So you don't hear about it till later, but he was like, okay, well, Janet, they had to move some stuff around, and and her team. Now, when Janet don't work, probably 10, 15 people don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? So when at the time, I guess they was just protecting her. So by the time that if she just kissed Q-Tip and got a cold, when AIDS was at that time, people didn't know where it came from, what was going around, and by the time they got to the scene where they were supposed to, be butt naked, because they were supposed to be butt naked and making love, Tupac and Janet. But I think about maybe a month into the movie, you just start seeing signs with Tupac. He was, he used to date Left Eye. So they was coming up to the set, and he'd always have women in and out. And then, they had this little thing about it. Tupac wasn't playing. He was 21. So he's knocking them down. So if he was not wrapping up, you was hearing about it. So it was like, oh, he got to, they said, oh, Tupac this word, and then, or maybe somebody put that out there. Maybe a girl that he had banged, the extra or something, and then she was like, well, he did this. So she, there's a little rumor about he had a dirty dick or something like that. So the rumors got out, and they was like, well, you ain't about to be laying next to Janet. And we see the women coming in and out, it's your thing, and you're a rapper and you're young. So people were protecting their investment. So when they asked, him to get an AIDS test, it was to protect the investment. It's like, you got to kiss and lay next to Janet and do all this stuff. So it wasn't Janet who did it. Janet didn't give a shit. But the rumors that kind of, they was hating on, he kind of hating on Pac. So I think that was a little rumor. And then AIDS was new. You didn't know what it was. So they kind of used it as a bargaining point to say that. And then just, ran that but, it wasn't Janet. And, Pac didn't have AIDS. You know what I'm saying? But he was getting around. And I think, they just used that to kind of say, well, we need to cut the love scenes. And we need to cut down, most of these things out that he's going to be in her with, because this movie is cool, but it's jeopardizing Janet's career. And I think, to me, that's why it got blown out of proportion. They just ran with that story.